says we're live on a custom live streaming service.
All right, we are live with COVID Marketing, the show to support small biz, not just to survive, but to thrive. Week daily at 11:11 Eastern Standard Time. If you have questions on marketing, business, or well, whatever, let us know in the comments wherever you find folk are watching this. I am Brent Kobayashi of Kobayashi Zeitgeist, a marketing agency here in Toronto. And I have with me Arthur.
Brent, good to see you again.
Good to see you again.
I was disappointed you took the Indiana Jones hat off. I was really digging that.
Yeah, okay. It's on the other side of the room now, so I'm sorry. I'm not putting it back on.
I feel like it gave a nice touch of like, adventurer, investigator, really going to get down to the bottom of things. Not afraid to get your hands dirty.
I like all of that. Not this is the Wild West. As I know some people are feeling like, holy cow, we're in the Wild West time. Anything goes, which I think is just fear. I think we are really super fortunate that we still have I believe in North America, a society that is really solidly based in general rule of law. So we all kind of get what we want to do. And this isn't necessarily the case everywhere on the planet of Earth.
Mm-hmm. I've actually been impressed so far with how well behaved isn't quite the right word I'm looking for, but just so far with this whole quarantine, just how everybody's been going along with it. And as far as I'm aware, I haven't heard of any major kind of outbursts.
No, it's been fantastic. I think really, if you want to look at the good news of everything, everybody's really, this isn't surprising me. As much as we see kind of top level, the bad things that are reported, because that's what gets attention and that's what sort of gets people, that's what people are actually interested in. That's why ratings go up when you report on the bad things, but what you're seeing is on a very pervasive basis, just that everybody's really good. Mm-hmm. Like we're all good, like good people. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised to seeing all of this. This is a nice reminder just how good everybody actually is.
I was enjoying over the weekend. I went for a walk in the neighborhood here in the beaches, and I was enjoying seeing there'd be like friends. It was Sunday, so people were catching up, and somebody would be on the porch, and then somebody would have a chair somewhere over on the lawn a couple meters away. So everybody was like properly distanced, but people were still getting together, sharing a drink, having a glass of wine, whatever it might be. Yeah. On a Sunday afternoon, people are still connecting.
All beautiful. Love it so much.
So I had a couple of questions to dive in here for you.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, so jumping back onto Alignable. So question here from Laura in Toronto. Do you think most people prefer to purchase from family-owned businesses or from corporations?
Do you think people like to purchase from family-owned businesses or from corporations? The answer is yes. People like to purchase.
Yes and yes?
Yes and yes, of course. So you play to your strengths, whatever that happens to be, right? If family-owned business is one of your strengths, that's cool. However, nobody's going to purchase from you in a family-owned business, except for a small subsection. It's like, you know what? I don't want to deal with Walmart. I want to deal with these people because I can connect with them. So if your strength is family-owned business, and that's one of those possible things, absolutely, you can talk about that. However, understand your marketplace and what they're going for and what they need. So if the story of a family-owned business means, generations really understand what the consumer's needs are and are going to really service you well, and that's your niche, double down on that. If you're a corporation, remember two things. One, businesses are people, like literally that's what they are. And realize that your job is to not hide the fact, but realize the fact that there are arm's length shareholders, like a family-owned business. The reason why it's interesting is because there aren't arm's length shareholders that are saying, how do I get the maximum profit out of this investment of mine? So that allows you to do things that maybe a corporation sometimes feels like they can't. But if you're a really well-run organization, a corporation that's looking for brand and long-term relationship as your business strategy, then realize that it's all about people and connection. It's people that are buying your stuff. And so work to actually work on your strengths, whatever they may be, the ability to invest in infrastructure, the ability to go the long haul with your clients and say, you know what, I understand that, it's going to take some time for this to pay off. And then connect and really treat your customers really, really super well and understand their needs. It can go both ways. And so people are going to choose what feels right for them. I personally think that small businesses who rely on, I'm a small business, so support me, and I'm not going to give you as good as the one, the big business down the street. You're really you're vulnerable to that. So what I would do is say, well, if that's what's happening, and they're undercutting me on price or anything else like that because they have buying power, how do I leverage my strengths to make it valuable for the person to come to me instead of them? That's all that business is. And so you just take that and you innovate away, whatever that happens to be. Probably it means higher service and higher connection because you can have domain level expertise and one-on-one connection. There can be a buildup of trust. If there's a challenge or an issue they can come to, it can be price. There are probably ways you can compete in many cases on price. It can be on just really, really super understanding the market. So to give you an example, a little while ago, my son came to me and saying, he was going to the tiny corner store here to get the disposable cameras.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And so all of a sudden, the big thing was to get disposable cameras. And Walmart's just sold out. And Walmart's going to restock those disposable cameras whenever they restock them. It's not a very big market, segment for them. They're not going to pick up on that trend and suddenly start stocking a whole bunch of them. But as a small business owner, if you're really kind of connected and paying attention to what's going on in the marketplace, there's no reason why you can't throw a little bit of $20 on Facebook ads and or TikTok or Instagram or wherever people are paying attention, and just say, we got lots of stock. We just ordered 100 because I understand these are hot right now, and have people come to you. And then if you keep repeatedly doing that, people are going to love you. Mm-hmm. And so that's a strength that you can work off of, because a bigger organization, at least at the moment, is not going to have that capacity to pivot and connect and really pay attention to the market on small wins like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the answer is yes and yes. On both, you have to work to your competitive advantage, and you have to be really understand that the marketplace is going to tell you what to do. And you have to experiment. You have to get out there. If you're a small business saying, oh, darn, Starbucks, I'm a coffee shop and Starbucks just opened 2 doors down. Well, if you kind of suck and now Starbucks is a better option for them, people are going to go to Starbucks. They're going to say, I like that. But if you don't, and you're like, well, that feels very corporate and that feels very, very much the same, but this is what we could do here to make it feel different, then make it feel different. And make it really connective. Have, start the very hyper tuned in local events at your place, whatever it happens to be. And then the answer will be, some people will like that and some people like mine. And in some cases, people will go to both. I want this now, I want that now. But you have to be always paying attention to the marketplace if you want to, especially if you're a small business, if you want to connect. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel that a lot of small business owners, they tend to get very down on themselves, saying like, oh, we don't have the money or the resources, or mm-hmm. we can't run ads like the big guys can because they have all this like piles of money. But I think you hit the nail on the head there when you said the advantage small business owners have is they can be adaptable. They don't have to buy big, large bulk in something. They could pick up on a little trend, jump on it.
Yeah. So let me be clear. I mean, yeah, that might be true. It may be the right thing to do to shut down. It's like, all right, that one's done. That marketplace is done. However, we're just talking about it in our team meeting. Whenever you have something where it's just like either this happens or that happens, either, this Starbucks thing comes in, so that means either they don't come in or I'm out of business, right? As soon as you have an or, think, what does an and mean? Think what's possible, go through that process in your mind. And so Starbucks comes in and I'm super successful. How could that be? And just start asking the question. That actually is, that's a business trait for any business. Large businesses spend gobs of money figuring out how do we innovate? That's innovation. That's it in a nutshell. You think and, you think what's possible, and then you start doing some of that stuff and you see what sticks. And yep, your runway might be short. Your runway might be a few months. And if you don't take the shot, you're going to miss, right? Wayne Gretzky's, I think it was Wayne Gretzky. It's like, you miss every shot you haven't taken. Just take the shot. Go for it. See what happens.
And I like too what you're saying about the local community feel. And if I could be so bold here, but to use us at Kobayashi and Zeitgeist as an example, I mean, we are here representing the Danforth Village, right? And I mean, okay, we're on quarantine and lockdown right now, but under normal circumstances, if somebody was walking down the street, I mean, I could pop in, they could take a TikTok video with us. I know Brent, like, you'd love to jump on one. But you've got that local feel there, as opposed to say a downtown marketing agency. You can't just kind of pop in and say hi and meet at the barbecue by the Canadian Tire or whatever that might be, right? You're missing that local connection.
Yeah. So I think, so let's be clear on that. When we opened up our agency sort of in the Danforth Village area, and I got a storefront, it was really because I just wanted a cool place. It made no sense. You're an agency, you do not get foot traffic. You're not a location based like a coffee place or anything else like that. And actually, when we first moved in here, we had a whole marketing game plan, which was to get out to the local area and really connect with the small businesses and connect with the BIA and everything else like that. And then when we merged with Zeitgeist, where we were doing completely different type of work, right? So we were doing like downtown agency kind of stuff, like some of the campaigns we were doing were national. That didn't make sense from a business perspective anymore. Now, however, to your point, really, I'm looking at my neighborhood and the small businesses in the community from which I live in, and I'm like, it's almost not like there's a sales play in there. There is some, right? Absolutely. But there certainly is a support play. Like, there is certainly let's see who we can help out in the small businesses in our area, just so we can be a little bit stronger. And to have, people that I care for, like Danforth Roadie is the best freaking roadie out there. Okay, I've been living here for like 25 years on the Danforth, like a really long time. So Mr. Tasties, even the new stuff, Cato Animal Hospital, like these are all places we frequent and I think are amazing.
I'm laughing because I'm friends with the daughter who runs Cato Animal Hospital.
Awesome. So like you can see, it really helps to be able to do this sort of thing and start reconnecting with the local community in that sense. Now that we've sort of figured out who we are, and I think there is a strong advantage to be able to in-person connect, because one of the things that everybody's looking at when they're about to work with a business is, how do I judge that they're going to do what they say they're going to do? And there is something to be able to say, well, you know what? I can look the owner in the eyes and say, do I trust them? That goes a long way for some people. right? For some, it's consistency. Like McDonald's has done a really, really, really good job of being very, very, very consistent. And so when I know that I want that, I know where to go. It's straight up. And I can go anywhere in the world and get that. So that there's a, and that could be what I happen to want at that point. So therefore I'm going to buy from that corporation.
Mm-hmm. And so I think that's a good point, that it's not it's not black and white, one or the other. Is that for different times, for different situations, sometimes you do want that, you know, big corporate consistent feel. Like you said,
Mm-hmm.
you can travel anywhere in the world and you can get a Big Mac and it's more or less going to be a Big Mac, right? But at the same time, sometimes you want that roadie shop down the street where you're like, they make the best damn roadie and I am proud to be local here.
Everybody
And
needs to go for that
I could
roadie.
say
I'm serious. Yes.
that is my roadie shop.
Yes. This whole thing, if there's a takeaway for this for everybody, international, national, across Toronto, is go to Danforth Roadie. That's your takeaway. Forget all of the marketing advice, all of the ideas on how to run your business and how brand is so important and understanding your consumer. Just go get a good roadie. It'll do the most amazing thing to your productivity. Yes, your business will be stronger for it.
And then on that note, take a TikTok and hashtag Danforth Roadie.
Yeah, absolutely. Mention them. Help spread the word. We need lots of roadie. All right, I think.
I had more questions, but I think we hit time for today.
Yeah, I know. We dug into that one.
It's a good one.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, sorry, no hat for you. Thank you very much for joining us on COVID marketing. If you have questions, we will do our best to answer them. Leave them in the comments, reach out to us, send us a DM, messages, whatever. And please, if you're finding this valuable, share it. Share it with the friends, tag them, whoever you think needs to be watching this and enjoying a little bit of thrive possibility rather than just survive.
Right on, Brent.
See you tomorrow.
See ya.